Cool. Next one. So the next one says that given that x is equal to 0.5 and y is equal to 4, what is the value of 4x squared times 2y plus 2? Well, we're going to just substitute here. Anywhere I see x, I'm going to put 0.5, so I'm going to put that here. And anywhere I see y, I'm going to put 4, which means I'm going to put a 4 here. So let's rewrite this problem. We're going to have 4 times x is 0.5. That's going to be taken to the second power times 2 times 4 plus 2. And now we need to use what? What process should I do here? Anybody?
PEMDAS.
PEMDAS, yes. We're going to use order of operations, which means we're going to go through PEMDAS. Beautiful. So PEMDAS states that first we start with the parentheses. So looking inside the parentheses, what should I do first? Should I multiply first or should I add first?
Multiply first.
Multiply first. So I'm going to write everything else exactly the same because nothing has been done to it. Excuse me. So 2 times 4, thank you. 2 times 4 is going to be 8 plus 2. All right, we still have a parenthesis, so now we need to take care of that. What are we going to get here? 8 plus 2?
10.
10. All right, parentheses is dealt with. I still kept the parentheses there just to remind me that there is a multiplication going on there, but we're pretty much done with anything inside the parentheses. What is next after parentheses in PEMDAS?
Exponent.
Exponent. So we're going to need to take care of this 0.5 squared, which is going to be 0.5 times 0.5. That's going to be 5, carry the 2, that's going to be 2, that's going to be 0. So that's going to be 0.25. So this is going to be 4 times 0.25 times 10. And now all that's left is multiplication. And you're supposed to do PEMDAS from left to right. But because we have multiplication only, like there's just a bunch of numbers multiplying, you do have a little bit of freedom of multiplying this however order you want. It doesn't really make a difference. So I'm going to go ahead and just multiply 4 times 0.25 first. So 4 times 0.25 is going to be 20, carry the 2, 8 plus 2 is 10, carry the 1, and that's going to be 1. So this is going to equal to 1 times 10. So your answer is going to be 10. So again, you're just going through PEMDAS. You're just going through the order of operations, which is always parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, and you always go from left to right. Just like when you read a book, you go from left to right, same order you're going to do it. Any questions on this one? Nope. Okay. Next one. The area of a circle is given by 24 pi. What is its radius? Okay, so what is the area formula for a circle?
Pi r squared.
Pi r squared. So we're going to have the radius to the second power times pi, or if you want to put pi in the front, it's fine. Doesn't make a difference. All right, so they tell me that the area is equal to 24 pi. So I'm going to plug that in. So 24 pi is supposed to equal to the radius squared times pi. And our job is to figure out what is r. So let's try to get r alone, starting with getting rid of pi. Right now, pi is multiplying. So what would I do to get rid of it?
Divide.
Divide on both sides. And just like that, pi is gone and we don't need to worry about it. So we're going to have that 24 is equal to the radius squared. And again, our job is to get the radius. So right now I have a power of 2. The opposite of a power of 2 would be a square root. So I'm going to do the square root here and here. The square root and the power cancel, leaving me with just r is equal to the square root of 24. Now, this is 1000% mathematically correct. But if you look at your answer choices, the square root of 24 is not there. Why? Because they just simplified the square root. So let's simplify the square root of 24. I want you to tell me, what two numbers can I multiply to get 24, and one of them has to be a perfect square?
6 and 4.
6 times 4, yes. So this is going to be the same thing as the square root of 4 times the square root of 6. But I know that the square root of 4 is just 2, so I'm going to separate this. This is going to be the same thing as the square root of 4 times the square root of 6, which is going to equal to 2 square root of 6. And that's going to be your final answer. This is what we called a simplified radical. So this is,
So you don't simplify the 6.
well, you can't. There's no two numbers you can multiply times. There are no factors of 6 that are perfect squares, because the only way to get to 6 is 2 times 3, and 2 is not a perfect square and 3 is not a perfect square.
Got it.
All right. Okay. Next one. A given rectangle has an area of 24 square feet. Which of the following cannot be one of its side lengths? Okay, so we have a rectangle. And they tell me that the area of this rectangle is equal to 24 squared feet. How do you calculate the area of a rectangle? What's the formula for area of a rectangle?
Is it length times width?
Yep, length times width. So we have length times width. The area is supposed to equal to 24. So what two numbers can I multiply to get 24?
6, 4.
Okay, so 6 times 4, which means this could measure 6 and this could measure 4, and that works. So we know definitely 4 would work, so that's not going to be our answer because we're looking for the one that cannot be. So we know for a fact 4 is a possible answer, so no. I'm going to put like an X next to it. Okay, what other two numbers can I multiply to get 24?
8 times 3.
8 times 3, very good. So that means that this could be 8, this could be 8, this could be 3. So that means that this cannot be the answer because it works. So we're looking for the one that does not work. Is there any way to get to 24 by multiplying 10?
Nope.
No, because 10 times anything is always going to end up being a number in 0. So like 10 times 2 is 20, 10 times 3 is 30, etc. So the only one that doesn't work is 10. And because of that, 10 is going to be our answer. Because again, the question is looking for cannot. These questions can sometimes be a little confusing because it's like opposite thinking. But just try to focus on, okay, what do I know is definitely true? Then go back to the problem and say, well, if they're looking for cannot means which one of these is false? Which one of these cannot be true? And then that's how you find your answer. Okay. This next one says, the circumference of a circle is 20 centimeters. What is the approximate radius of a circle? Now, there is a very important word here, and it is approximate. If you look at all your answer choices, what do you not see in any of your answer choices?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, like usually when we're working with circles, whenever we work with
pi?
circles,
A
we
pi.
often see
A
pi. In this problem, we don't see pi anywhere. So
So does that mean
this
we're gonna
tells me,
multiply by 3.14?
Exactly. So whenever you see approximate and you don't see pi anywhere, you can assume that you need to convert pi and use 3.14. That is the decimal format that we use for pi. So the circumference of a circle is always going to equal to what? What's the formula for circumference of a circle?
2 pi r.
2 times the radius times pi. Now they tell me the circumference is equal to 20, so I'm going to plug that in. 20. 2 times, I don't know what r is, that is what we're looking for. And I'm going to use 3.14 for pi. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and just switch these around in order just so that I can multiply 2 times 3.14 and leave r for last. So 3.14 times 2, that's going to be 8. That's going to be 2.
63.8.
And that's going to be 6. So we have 20 is equal to 6.28 times r, times the radius. Now my job is to get r alone. How would I get r alone here? What do I need to do in order to get r alone?
Divide by both
Divide.
sides.
Yes, we're going to divide by both sides because right now it's multiplying. So the opposite is to divide. So I'm going to divide both sides by 6.28. This would go away, leaving me with r is equal to, so let's take care of the division. So we have 6.28, and I got 20 on the inside. Now, remember what I told you that whenever you divide with decimals, you want to make sure that the number on the outside is a whole number. So let's move the decimal all the way to the left. I'm sorry, to the right. So I'm going to move this decimal once, twice to the right. Same thing here, once, twice, and we fill this in with zeros. So 628 is going to fit into 2,000 at least. I'm going to say maybe 3 times, because 3 times 600 is 1,800. So let's try 3 and see what we get. So 3 times 8 is going to be 4, carry the 1. No, carry the 2, sorry. 3 times 2 is going to be 6 plus 2 is 8. And 3 times 6 is going to be 18. So I think this is as close as it's going to get. So this is going to become 1. So this becomes 9. This becomes 9. This becomes 10. So this is going to be 6, 1, 1. I'm going to go ahead and put a decimal, add a 0, bring it down. Now 628 is going to fit into 1,160. I'm
2 times.
sorry?
2 times.
2 times?
I say 2 because that's the only choice you have in the answer that had 3.2.
That's true. I don't think it fits 2 times. I think it fits 1 time, and then probably the next number is going to be like 5 or above, and that's why they round it up to 3.2. So obviously, like you said, the only answer choice that has like a 3 in there is going to be B.
I think it's 1.
So it is 1 time. I just want to make sure we do the math right. So it is going to be 1 time.
If you multiply by 2, it gives you 1, 2, 5, 6.
Yeah, it's too big if you do it times 2. So again, I'm just going to do the math just because I want to make sure that we're doing the math right. So it's going to be 2, that's going to be 3, that's going to be 5. And then when you put the next one, then that one's probably going to be somewhere like around, maybe like around 8. It's going to be like 8 something maybe, about. But anyways, the point is that because it's 3.18, that 8 would round up the 1 into a 2. It would bump it up to a 2. So the final answer would end up being 3.2 as your final answer. And again, I only did that because I want to make sure that like we follow through on the step.
I have a question. So whenever you see the number behind the decimal is lower, and then the next one is higher than it, do you ultimately just round it up?
So if you see that all the answer choices only have 1 decimal, and you're doing your problem and you're like, I got 2, or you have more than 2, that means that they rounded up. So for example, because 8 is bigger than 5, then if you need to stop at the first decimal point, then you would bump it up by 1 because 8 is bigger than 5. So that 1 would then become a 2.
Yeah.
So your answer would be 3.2.
Yeah, but I'm asking if you're to see any answer choice like that, do
Well,
you
if you were to see it like that, then what the safe assumption would be that, yeah, they round it up. That is the only assumption that we could possibly make. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. So this next one, I think it's the same one we did earlier. Yeah, I did that one already. Didn't I? Didn't I do that one? I did. Haha, I did it.
Yeah.
We did a
Okay.
simple question.
Alrighty. So I had one question I didn't get a chance to do, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and save this PDF so that you guys, if you want it, just send me a quick email and I will send it to you. And I know I got a couple of questions. I know Carlos sent me some questions through email, so I didn't get a chance to do them today. I mean, like right now in class, but I will definitely go over them tonight during our 8 p.m. class. So please come to class so that I can go over them and make sure you guys are understanding them well. All right. Do we have any last minute questions before I let you guys go?
No, no.
Okay. I'm gonna put my email in the chat just really quick, in case anybody still needs it.
Wait, actually, hold on. I got a question.
Yeah, what's up?
So you remember that email that I think everybody got? It's like there's like a December gift like with the AFQT thing.
Uh-huh.
I did a test yesterday, and I just want to know what's the. I mean, I can't tell you my score. What I got, I don't know. What it didn't tell me like what was supposed the percent of the score. You know, it just says it's out of 59 questions. So I just want to know how many. What's my percent average or the grade that I suppose I got. I mean, I can tell you what's the fraction like, and you can tell me how much is that in like a percent or.
Well, how many did you get right?
Hold on, I'll tell you. Hold on, I have it here.
Yeah.
I got 37 out of 59.
Okay, so if you want to figure out what your percentage would be, you just divide the number you got right. So
Yeah.
37 was it? 37 divided by 59 and then multiply by 100 and that'll give you the percent.
Okay.
And that way you kind of like have an idea of what you got.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. Hope to see you guys tonight. Bye.
Bye.